Send this one live. Are you waiting on me send this one live?
Standing strong to any weather. Follow the light of the PEP, cause we can build a better place for every creed and every race. Together we can triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP will here for you. Bit by bit, one big and one goal.
Satish, just as a broadcast won't work. So those of you who are asking what I'm doing, this is my phone, and I have 10,000 WhatsApp people who need to know when I'm live. So I play a song at the start so I can send out those WhatsApps, and that's what I'm doing. So stand by. Because everybody needs to know, and I'll tell you why now. Amen. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of May, 2023. I'm looking into two cameras. We're going to be fixing all of this. Tonight is a stress test of a new system. On my left is a whiteboard. I wish I could turn the whole thing to show you the chart of how much broadcast we're broadcasting. We have people based on site with me in the studio. We have people based off site in Tacarigua. We even have a team based in New York City right now dealing with the multiples of broadcasts that this is. And if I'm not looking into the cameras, because I might be looking at the other camera, and we're going to get past this. And Satish and team is going to be putting out a call for things that we need, mixing boards, cameras, and stuff as we go forward. But tonight, what we're testing is our new system, because tonight we are broadcasting on Vimeo, peptt.com, pepmediatt.com, Instagram, 44 groups on Facebook that we control, WhatsApp 30 groups that we control, TikTok, Twitter, Rumble, email, and YouTube. So once you are in any way connected to the Progressive Empowerment Party through any of those things, you're going to find us. The purpose of this and all of that is to fight back against those who are using technology to fight us on the technology. Phillip Edward Alexander is the biggest thing on social media. We get in the tens of millions of views, and they're using the Israeli contract, and they're using their Heliconia Foundation to bombard Facebook with complaints and all kind of stuff. We have so many things that we deal with to keep this message alive. We're blocked on traditional media, and all the other 2x4 politicians can go on any traditional media tomorrow and talk the same nonsense that they're talking for the past. What somebody told me today, if we continue traditional politics as usual, we're going nowhere. I do two types of broadcasts. I do topical broadcasts. Somebody said I sound a little muted. Swipe right to view more contacts and more comments. Swiping. Okay, I'm seeing. All right. Am I sounding muted on TikTok? Can you explain your plans with dealing with corporate Trinidad that influence the government? That's very simple. We are completely disconnected from the contract mafia. We're taking no donations from them. They can come and hand us $100 million as long as there's no strings attached, because we can't take it. We're making no promises. So that thing with corporate Trinidad and influencing government, that's actually, it has to do with campaign finance. They get away with, in a country where we have a financial intelligence unit that can't come cardboard in a yard, the cardboard box in a yard. I don't even know what their job is, because as much hundreds of millions of dollars at election time being paid to gangs to pay out to people to vote. I mean, it's all an insanity. It's all a nonsense. It is nonsensical situation. We are going to make sure that when we get into government, strong campaign finance reform, you'll identify a number. Now, just answering this question quick. You'll identify a number if each member of parliament is allowed $100,000 to campaign for 6 weeks. If you spend $100,001, you forfeit your campaign. Even if you win, you lose. And that's the only way. That's how it's done in first world countries. When you hear this is George Herbert Walker Bush, or this is Barack Obama, or this is Bill Clinton, and I approve that message, what it means is the official campaign is saying, yes, we are accounting for this message. Yeah? So we're on TikTok. The TikTokers, if you all could just tell me that you're hearing me, because a fellow named Anganon told me that I'm sounding muted. I just need to know that I'm good. On the rest, Tara Ramsaran saying no volume. Why some people have volume and some people don't have volume? Satish. Kathleen Hayes saying good volume. Tara Ramsaran said no. The TikTokers saying they're hearing great. So Anganon, restart your system. Yeah, I have my phone. My number is 682-2110. Please, if you have a question to ask, you don't want to write it here. If for any reason you need anonymity, you can WhatsApp it to me at 682-2110. I'll read it without your name. Any WhatsApps I get, unless you tell me, say your name, I'm not talking. That I won't be calling your name. That was me answering Daniel, who's telling me you're live now, so stop talking to Satish. But I need to talk to Satish because Satish is a producer. We have strong teams at work, and they're here with me today. Let me remind you, as I am watching it now, the Progressive Empowerment Party is having a family day. All fours, karaoke, sports, events, food is on Sunday, the 11th of June, 2023. And it's at Prisal Recreational Ground, the Ranjinana grounds. So you can bring the entire family, PEP members. But if you're not yet a PEP member and you're always intended to join, you could sign up right there, and PEP members is free. So come through, come down, come through and come down and make it and have a good time. Yeah? Might be the internet provider giving trouble. No, we're getting some calls coming through too. Yeah, you ought to give me a Satish, send a message to your mother that you're using your phone here, because she's the one that's calling. Yeah, all of us still, when mommy calling. Yeah. So to the TikTokers, I'm a die-hard PLM. Can I come? Yes, I will gladly help you burn that PLM shirt and cut up that waste of time Balize card, replace it with a nice Phillip will fix it t-shirt and a PEP membership for life. Come down, sign up and join and come into your Orange family. We can't wait to have you on board. Chat overlay. We're dealing with a lot of new stuff. We're using a new program tonight that's allowing us to rebroadcast on multiples of platforms. So we're testing these things. But you could ask me any questions. And we said, the live looks good. I make this look good. Back here. So we announced the PEP Family Day. Please tell one another the Family Day is Sunday, the 11th of June at Ranji Nanan Grounds. I guess it start from about 10 o'clock. Come on here, me sing Buju Bantan. That's my karaoke song for the day. I'm going to need somebody to sing Wayne Wonder's part because I just sing Buju's part. Bonafide Love. You don't know that song? Some of you might be too young to even know what that song is. Afraid to play it because some of these things like YouTube might have a difficulty with copyright and we have all of that. Will you fix all current ongoing projects when you come into office? Once taxpayers' funds have been spent? Yes. If taxpayers' funds have been spent, like the 1% Tanti flyover that is spending $500 million on, that should have been $100 million, we will finish it and prosecute those who are stealing the additional $400 million. We'll go after those who built a $10 million police station in Carnage for $51 million. We'll go after those who renovated a $2 million cottage behind President's house for $17 million. So we're going after all. We want all our money back. They will give us the shirt, the pants, the shoes, the car, the house, the wife earrings, the children education fund. They will give back everything that they have stolen from the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I promise you. Really good video you made on the port. Thank you. Please share it everywhere. Will the refinery be reopened? This is a very serious conversation that all the other politicians are avoiding. I want to tell you something. It will cost more than the value of Petrotrin to restart Petrotrin, and they're not telling you that. But it is not an easy thing to turn back on that refinery after they shut it down. Keith Rowley was a madman. That is now scrap iron. That is now scrap iron, and maybe that was their intention all along. It would be cheaper and easier to build a smaller refinery in Trinidad and scrap that. Petrotrin days are gone. We are going to need a refinery, like we are going to need a central marketing agency where Caroni once stood and put our 30,000 farmers to work. We want to bring back our oil and gas industry. But Petrotrin at the heart of it, Keith Rowley destroyed that. Keith Rowley destroyed that. Pitch Lake, we want that back. I was the person that started to ask the question 20 years ago, where does the revenue from the Pitch Lake show up? Government has been hiding that for decades. We still don't know. We don't see it in the budget and we don't see it in the Auditor General report. It is the greatest mystery. Daniel Francois, somebody who is watching me live, please reach out to Satish's mom and tell her that we're using his phone so she could stop dialing because she's going to interrupt the TikTok. And I'm sorry for broadcasting that. What is your take on central bank digital currency? I am totally against the digital currency until we could put things in place that make sure even your digital currency is only your property and it's a criminal offense to interrupt your money. It should be a criminal offense for government to use things like OnStar that was created 20 years ago to work in cars to assist drivers. Now they want to control the cars. All of that. We want all our freedoms back. The Progressive Empowerment Party is going to make sure that we entrench rights and freedoms in our Constitution that nobody could remove. In the United States of America, there is a preamble to the amendment that protects freedom of speech. It says Congress shall make no law. That can't change. That could never change. And we want to do that. We want to put into our Constitution, Parliament shall make no law abridging human rights in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of those rights is the right to property. In fact, all of the rights of justice start with the right to own property, and your property is everything that you own, including your money. And the state cannot arbitrarily assign itself or ascribe to itself that it could control. What's your plan for getting people back on the workforce? We are going to make jobs job one. The Progressive Empowerment Party, I just made in a video one night. I was talking one night when they announced that Tesla Elon Musk became the richest man in the world because Tesla got a budget rent-a-car, Hertz rent-a-car contract worth so many billions of dollars. And I said a government that had sense would call Elon Musk and Tesla right away and say, listen, come and take space in Trinidad and Tobago. We have plenty of space that we don't use. Come and set up factories and make dashboard, make steering wheel, make hub, make transmission, make engine. Whatever you need to do, put our people to work. It's easy to put this workforce to work. We would diversify the economy into agriculture, agro-processing, tourism, shipping tourism, downstream agro-processing, and small business. You're not going to believe this now. I have to make a call. Live on air. What about property tax after people spend their lives? I'm coming straight back to that right now to talk to you about property tax because we, the Progressive Empowerment Party, have a strong position on property tax. We are using Satish's phone for this live broadcast. Is it urgent? Okay, but we get a call coming from you. So monitor that. Hold on, you're not talking to him. Satish, come and take this phone. He's coming to take the phone. Come and take this phone. All right. He will answer you. Hold on. Can we see a unification between the PEP and the NTA? No. I'll tell you why. Gary's a guy I like, and I can work with Gary, and I think Gary is brilliant at what he does. But I don't like some of the people behind the NTA, and that's my position. And we don't want to replace I need the phone. We don't want to replace the same institutional political investors with another version of that. We will never be that. And the people who hang around political parties hoping to be that, I can't deal with them. Property tax. The Progressive Empowerment Party has a strong policy on property tax. On your primary residence, on your home, there must be zero property tax. There are people who will tell you, boy, all over the world, they just pay property tax to pick up the garbage and wash the yard and pave the road. Yes, but in Trinidad, we the people have lost $3 trillion stolen by bandits. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are entitled to some of the largest of the riches that pass through this country. I know you're asking plenty of questions, and it's questions and it's passing quickly. If I don't answer your question, ask it again, right? Or send it to me as a WhatsApp on 682-2110. Hear me clear, on your primary residence, on your home, there must be 0% property tax. But I also want to tell you that there are a lot of people in this country that have money that they cannot explain, hidden in property. And the price of property in Trinidad and Tobago is as high as it is because of people who have corruption money, drug money, all kind of contraband money hidden in properties. And the Progressive Empowerment Party says on your primary residence, on your primary real estate, there must be 0% property tax. On the second property you own, we'll charge you a small tax. On the third property, we'll double that. On the fourth property, we'll double it again. By the time we reach the eighth property, because anybody who owns 8 properties, unless you are an institutional renter, covered by the rules of renting and rent control, to make sure that we're not digging out people's eyes, because a lot of people using real estate for profiteering. But real estate for housing, like food, water, and air, are essential to the development of our country and our people, and the government has a responsibility to protect that. Capitalism without compassion is a prescription for confusion. Not everything. Nobody must be allowed to buy up all the food, but we allow that to go on because we're not growing food. We are letting the food importers run amok, the 1% food importers. That ought to stop. We need to bring back control of our food through food independence, taking our 90,000 acres of farmland that was controlled by Caroni, Petrotrin, and Clico that is not being used right now, put that with our 30,000 existing registered farmers and get them growing food so that we could destroy this notion that all of our food must cost billions of US dollars in Trinidad and Tobago imported. The reason for us saying property tax on people's additional properties is to flush all that drug money and all that corruption money, people who went into government to steal billions of dollars and then went down in Westmoreland and buy up $5 and $6 and $10 and $12 million properties and rent in Goodwood Park and buy properties for $30 and $40 million. All of that money have to flush out of the system. We need to get the price of housing back affordable. Housing, food, education, healthcare, water, air, those things non-negotiable. We need to make sure that the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago includes and covers those things. But then, a Progressive Empowerment Party government will institute zero deposit, zero interest on home ownership for first-time homeowners up to $1 million. And that will drive the price of housing down. It will create opportunities for minimum wage earners to own a home with less than $1,000 mortgage and stuff like that. So these things we have to drill down in depth. Somebody's going to have to see the price of tomatoes today. I'm glad I planted a few plants. I have a little garden going in my backyard too. And I'll share pictures on that as soon as I start up there. How will it be financed? I missed half of what you just said. How will it be financed? You just send them back. Sati, checking the phone? WhatsApp me 682-2110. Yes, that's true. However, Mr. Phillip moves with a reliable, dependable team. Thank you. Always have my support. Affordable housing for people on minimum wage of over a 25-year period. Please, WhatsApp 682-2110. You sounding like you're selling dreams. Friend, how to tell you this in a way that you will understand. Trinidad was a net food exporter up to the 70s. The banks and public health are destroying people's finances in this country. We're supposed to have banks that are giving us interest on our funds, not charging us fees for everything. I feel like I can't own a home with my salary. You could, and you should. More audio needed. You sound a little muted. I am on Facebook. David Anganon, I got your message, but everybody else say they're hearing well, so I don't know if you want to try something else. What are your thoughts on BRICS? Will you refinance all government debt with BRICS and renationalize all the privatized assets that were sold off? BRICS is a serious conversation that we need to have. I think Trinidad and Tobago is in no position to have one sugar daddy. I think Trinidad and Tobago needs to deal with everybody and let the big elephants sort their own crap out. With regards to the issue of things that were stolen, yes, all of it coming back. Why does France own 70% of our exploration fields? I don't know that to be a fact. If it does, we'll revisit that. All of the people that get excited for every new fad to come along, and I want to tell you something, BRICS is just another one of that. The Americans are going to respond at some point in time. You can't bite up a lion. At some point, the lion don't bite back. The global economy is pinned on consumption and credit. That's what it's been built on. Nobody in the world wants to live a communist life where everybody gets a share one sneakers. We don't want to live like that. We want to live in a country where every citizen have the same rights and access to quality education, good jobs, proper healthcare, affordable food. See that? Get those things pinned down. Those who want to work themselves to death, tell you, old man Sabga felt sorry for him at 92 in the office, slaving away till you're dead. Yeah, opinion box. We're not taking any calls tonight. I don't know why that message did not go out. Call on 682-2110 if it is urgent and important. Curry duck competition. We have a curry duck competition at the family day, and we have all fours, etc. You could message 330-2040 for more information. 330-2040 for more information. School for students with autism, please, of course, children on every side of the spectrum of human development, from advanced children to normal everyday children, to children who are not academically inclined but are technically inclined or athletically inclined or artistically inclined. All of our children in Trinidad and Tobago should be given an opportunity to develop themselves through a proper education system that respects their young lives and gives them the opportunity at that time. How are you going to boost the tourism sector? The tourism sector in Tobago is where most of our tourism is going to happen, and we intend to do that by working in tandem with the shipping companies most of all. I want to say to you all though, a lot of these answers that we're giving you here, the PNM and the UNC saying that with pen and paper taking notes, because they don't have a plan and they don't have a clue. One of our senior members is an executive in a major shipping company, a worldwide shipping company. And we have been in talks. We have been in talks with regards to how to function in by creating shipping, not shipping, cruise ship tourism. And there is a type of cruise tourism now where the ship comes to a country and stays for 3-4 days, 5 days, and then goes. It's not like they stop and people jump out and have a day. Now people, yeah, how much money your party intends to steal now? If I wanted to steal money, I'd be in the PNM or the UNC. Those parties are set up for theft. Look at me. Look at me. Hear my voice. Look how much we've done. Look how much we've done. I've been an activist for 30 years. I've been a full-fledged politician since January 18, 2017. Look at how much we do and how much has been done. People are with 1% of my brain advancing themselves in the PNM and the UNC. If I wanted to steal money, I know I'd be in the PNM and UNC. We're here to fix it. Somebody just said something good on TikTok. They're trying to privatize WASA. We'll roll that back. What we need to do is decentralize WASA, make WASA functional. But that's a whole other conversation. I believe you, but I want to see the people who you're going to hire, the best and the brightest. My brother is the person that saved the world from COVID-19 vaccines. My brother saved the world from the lies of the COVID-19 pandemic was going to kill everybody with a vaccinated children. It is my brother who saved billions of lives, and he should be given a Nobel Peace Prize for the work that he did. And to the person who asked how much was my government going to steal, my brother Paul Elias Alexander could have written his own ticket, another brain. My family, all of my family have given up opportunities to feather our own nest and fought for other people. That's how our parents raised us. I understand you're being jaded because all we've known since 1962 is bandits in office. But Phillip proving things to be true, not talking like UNC. Wow, these comments are flying fast. On the restream. I need you to WhatsApp me. Any programs to boost help the fishing industry, fishermen feed the nation? Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a massive plan for the fishermen, and we've been in conversation with some of the associations, some of the organizations, and we'd like to talk to all of them in person to let them know that we absolutely respect our fishermen. We want to protect them. We're going to put our Coast Guard to guard the coast, not this Coast Guard. This Coast Guard is really the park up guard. This is the park up in Shagarama's guard. We're going to sell the park up in Shagarama's guard to the 1% who have them park up there. You can take them home and have dinner with them in your house. We're going to create an actual Coast Guard that will guard the coast, protect our interests in the sea, our marine interests, including our fishermen. All the Taiwanese and Venezuelan and long-haul Spanish trawlers that coming in our waters, all that done. Done. Yeah, mark that. Good night, Mr. Alexander. I messaged you some months ago to please highlight the water history in Preserve. We highlight it everywhere. What about the PTSD youths? There's a conversation that needs to be fleshed out a little more than that. The source of the PTSD is what we have to talk about. Are you going up for local government elections? My card's real close to my chest, but I promise you from the moment the Privy Council said that we have to have local elections, our team met the next day, the next Saturday. We had a complete national leadership caucus, and we have full plans. Raul Glasgow, do me a favor. WhatsApp it to me. You can't ask me here, you can't ask me on WhatsApp. You can't be all over the place. Decide where you want to talk. Why is it to get a car loan as easy than to get a business loan? Can it be able to change that? Absolutely, all financing. But the Progressive Empowerment Party has strong financial sector policies that we're going to institute, especially banks. We're going to erase all of those fees that the banks are charging. We're going to bring banks into the country to compete with the four banks that have been here for too long. It's stale. This relationship has been stale. Royal Bank, Republic Bank, Scotia Bank, First Citizens Bank, they've been doing their thing for so long. We've gotten a diluted gene pool where a vibrant financial community should be. We want to bring in 10, 15, 20 more banks into the country. We want to give them the opportunity to function in a real banking arrangement where they pay depositors interest on their funds and then they lend out that money for interest, credit interest. So it will stimulate credit in the economy and depositors will have their money grow, not reduced the way it is done now. Yeah? Why don't you team up with Gary Griffith? I believe both of you all will bring about serious change. That's up to Gary. He knows the terms and conditions. The door is not closed. Any new internet companies, we'll break all the monopolies. That's for sure. We'll break all the monopolies. We'll create opportunities for all the new technologies to be experimented on in Trinidad and Tobago, including renewable energies and all of the global broadcast internet opportunities. I would love to see no more shack housing in TNT. Give out HTC homes with payments to suit pockets. The HTC need to be shut down. The HTC is a way for financiers and their friends to steal money. That needs to be shut down. All we need is to make sure that people have access to finance to own their own home. And that will generate jobs and create equity and generational wealth. What about the telecommunications issue that we have? Let me tell you something. I'm going to talk here because we get a million questions, but you all need to understand. Our country is set up bad. It's set up to fail. All of it is set up to fail. And why is it set up to fail? So that they could steal money. Politicians go into office in the PNM and the UNC to get rich. They don't go there to serve, they go to steal money. And this PNM is a jackass ban and the UNC is worse. And let's be honest. There is nothing in either of those parties that gives anybody hope. Nothing. Nobody sees a future for their family and their children. The happiest people, the happiest Trinbagonian people are Trinbagonian people living in Miami and America and London and France and Spain and anywhere else in the world. Trinidadians are happiest when we leave because our country has been mismanaged. And that's ridiculous because this is biblical Eden. This is paradise on earth convincingly. Somebody just said they're going to live in Guyana. Trinidad should be like Dubai. Dubai should want to be like Trinidad. The reality of our situation is this. We need to redo Trinidad and Tobago. We need to reinvent Trinidad and Tobago to functionality where it respects everybody and their right to a proper life and a share in all of the benefits. Every time you hear Carl Mimbert and Larry Hawaii and all of these bullshit artists in the PNM and the UNC talk, everything they tell you about the budget is a lie. All of our budgets are theft. If you go down to West Moorings tonight and watch what Junior Sammy and the Chinese are building, tell me where the $500 million is. They go and see what Sinanan built on his own property by K. Donner. The property that the lease was up, the lease was expired, but he still was allowed to transact it and sell it to the state. Go and see what they built there for $500 million. Find that money. We will bring, not Trinidad, because in Trinidad, even professionals are unethical and criminally corrupt. In Trinidad, most of our professionals, even our chartered professionals, are souls for hire, for bandit money. We will bring quantity surveyors from the Commonwealth and let them survey all that was done. All that was done in all of these public projects. And you will see what the real value should have been. The $500 million that was spent on the Red House shouldn't have been 10% of that. But all of that has to be done by a government. The PNM and the UNC are sharks in a feeding frenzy. They will fight each other over race, but they won't fight each other over criminal corruption because they deal with the same contract mafia and they deal with the same contractors and the same kickback system. Election time come along and all those big shot contractors have a bag of red and a bag of yellow and waiting for the election to finish count. So they put out which one there and right, we back in business. Because all them financing both sides. Any, mini, miny, and more. It doesn't matter to them. The Progressive Empowerment Party is here to break that. What about the medically deprived? That should not be a situation. Trinidad and Tobago should have proper medical care for all our people. We spent $5 billion. I just this weekend, Sunday, my mother was rushed to the hospital. We rushed her to West Shore for a 2-hour stay in casualty And you know our casualties look like something from a Barbie doll movie. It don't look like a real hospital. No matter if it's West Shore or St. Clair, it still looks like amateur hour on the Koran. But my mother was in West Shore for 2 hours, and then that was late in the evening, and by 7 o'clock they wanted to keep it till 9 o'clock the next morning. And for that little space of time, that was $15,000. And still not taking my mother to the general hospital. Because Keith Rowley know why he and his family don't go to general hospital. Terrence the Alsing know why he and his wife don't go there. All of the members of parliament, the government, PNM, the UNC know why they don't use public health. But we spend $5 billion a year for that nonsense, and we've spent $30 billion in the last 6 years alone. That kind of money, you could buy Barbados. You could rebuild. For what we spent on public health under Pandey, Manning, Kamala, Rowley, we could rebuild Trinidad and Tobago, just public health. This country has been royally raped by those two parties. And all of you who are defending it still, just because you want your right to be racist, just because politically you want to stick your finger in the other person's eye because their skin not your skin or their hair not your hair, you're a jackass because you sink in your own boat. It is time to fix it. It's time to fix it. Mr. Alexander, I'm tired of fighting to survive. Trinidad running out of options to try. This is the best. This is our last best chance. Progressive Empowerment Party. I am as honest with you as I could be. I tell you, if we're not voted into office, organize yourself and get out. Let me tell you, all of the nurses in Trinidad and Tobago right now have their resumes outside and online. All. And the government not telling you because we're losing nurses by the day. Nurses telling them keep the contract, keep the money, and they're gone. Because foreign countries offering our trained nurses 5, 10, 15 times the contract they're getting here. It's hard to leave your home behind. It's hard to leave what you know as Trinidad, as where you grow up, as family and friends. But at some point, you have to make a decision. Our law enforcement, proper trained police officers, too, their resumes online. Government can tell you can't strike, and government can put other restrictions in place. We know they can't stop you from doing quitting the job and leaving. And it's in your best interest. If it's a Trinidad under the PNM or the UNC, they're selling you as slaves to the contract mafia. They're selling you as underpaid worker drones to put fries in a box or two a batter for the 1%. I tell you, it's in your best interest to leave Trinidad and go to a foreign country as a janitor. Don't listen. Don't listen to the PNM talking heads that getting paid Trinidad money. They're getting paid. They are PNM members living in Queens and New York who getting paid Trinidad money every year to talk shit on Facebook and tell you life hard over there. Life is hard over there. Trinidad, life hard in Trinidad. Here, this is special. And it is in your best interest. It is in your best interest to seek a proper life for your family. The Progressive Empowerment Party is that option, and you know that. No other politician, not Gary Griffith, not David Abdullah, not any of the Pannings or the Mandays, and I deliberately say it so because these sons of bitches. Anyway, none of them going down on the port and tell you what I told you this morning. What I told you this morning is a fact. They want to distract you with 168 kilograms of cocaine. How it come here? You can't tell me that you find it. You can't tell me that you collaborated with the United States of America to find cocaine in chagaramas in the back of an SUV, but you don't know how it get in the back of the SUV, and you don't know how it get into the country. Miss me with that bullshit. Trinidadians are being played by the government. And we need to end that. And when I went on the ported, I told you, for less money, it's $1 million a share, foundation, everything. You're weighing, you're stuffing, everything one time. Trinidad and Tobago has been fed a diet of foolishness from the PNM and the UNC, and both of them know. Both of them know that we are criminally corrupt narco state because the PNM and the UNC, however they benefited, be it finance from election finance or whatever, they've turned a blind eye to it. You don't need a no-fly zone in Trinidad to bring in cocaine. You have the Coast Guard park up in Chagaramas, and you have the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago and the Customs and Excise letting containers off of boats onto trucks and out the fence without even a sniff, a look, a check. Nothing. Nothing. Progressive Empowerment Party said we will build 20, 30, 40. Gregory Aboud from Doma said it will slow it down. Doma, tell me how much containers come through this country a day. How long it takes to unstuck one container. If it takes 3 hours and we have 20 containers coming through, we need 6. That is simple arithmetic. Even you could follow that, brother, with your copybook and your pencil. But I want to tell you this. We could build enough containers. We could hire enough customs and excise people, not from Trinidad. We could bring foreigners. We could get them a 12-month revolving contract, send them out before they get corrupt and bring new ones. Let us clean up this country once and for all. Let's end the drug trade. Let all them who want to behead one another and kill one another go outside there and fight in the sea. But let's get Trinidad and Tobago functional again. And the best way to get Trinidad and Tobago functional is to make our dollar make sense. Our dollar makes no sense. Start there. Start there. Why does our dollar cost? Why do we buy our dollar at 675, our US dollar at 675 and sell it at 6? Why the 13% spread? Who's enjoying that? Not central bank. Who gets that money? Is it a tax? Is it a 13% tax on the people? Why is it not $6 to buy and $6.10 to sell like it is anywhere else in the world? Nobody else has a spread like that. Trinidad has been gouged everywhere. We will repeal every law that the PNM and the UNC have done in the past 10 years. None of them are functional. We will put a proper legislative agenda where we will put proper attorneys into our Ministry of Legal Affairs to go and read and bring to us sensible laws. We've been writing laws that judges don't even know how to work with. Trinidad and Tobago is not run like a proper country. Trinidad and Tobago is not run like a proper. Every single commissioner of police know. Every minister of national security know. Every prime minister who's head of the National Security Council know. They damn well know. I tell you they know. They know. And you have to face that. That this is the reality of your country. When they're putting it up on Facebook and talking about crime symposium, Keith Rowley miss all of us with your bullshit. You bring Mia Motley here to stunt with Mia. You want to stand up next up. What was a functional prime minister? But now, you like King Minos, everything you touch is turned to shit. You make a mess of Mia Motley's reputation. You went Howard University and mess up Howard University. Now the whole world asking, what exactly going on in Howard University that they can give a man like you a doctorate in exchange for you giving the president? I am the one who told Trinidad and Tobago this. You gave the president of Howard University the order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago so he could come back and run for Diego Martin Central for PNM. Simon did not know he get kicked out already. All of this is the nastiness in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. You've been abused, used, taken for a ride. You need to fix that. You have no way around it. Our reality is the politics of Trinidad and Tobago has to be about a rescue. Has to be a rescue mission. It has to rescue us from race politics. It has to rescue us from corruption politics. It has to rescue us from nonsense. It's time we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, stood together as one people under one flag. It's time. They have no other option. Nothing. No other political party. None. When they tell you join up and link up, it's because they're lazy and they're scared. I don't want to join up and link up with nobody. I want the Progressive Empowerment Party to continue growing at the magnificent rate it is growing at right now and have everybody in Trinidad and Tobago comfortable to come on board and feel like they're part of this. I am a servant. I can live a nice life. I'm telling you, I've told you all that before. They have nothing in politics for me. I don't want another dollar. I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I don't need a contract. I don't need blue lights. I'm not like Rowley and them going into government so people, Gil Sharon, could look at you and go, he nice, eh? I'm nice now. I'm nice without being in government. I'm nice without having a blue lights. I do this for my country, for my children, for my family, for my friends, because I don't want to leave here and go and live in the next man's country, but I could. And if after the next election, the PNM and the UNC win, I tell you now, I would. I would. It is better to pack a grocery bag in America than to stand up in Trinidad playing you have a supervisor work and you can't buy a house. Bank mortgage officers who refer in your mortgage application to their head office to come back and tell you you don't qualify, they don't qualify. The bank mortgage officer not making enough money to buy a house according to TTMF. TTMF advertising starting at $16,000. Madness. What madness. Insanity. There's only one party, and I was going to say there's only one Progressive Empowerment Party, but there's only one party that is telling you the truth. There's only one party that's bringing it to you. I know it's hard to hear. It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear that this country has been set up to fail so consistently, so disgustingly. They've deceived us. They, as Kurt Allen say, they swear oath to cut with throat. That's what took place in Trinidad and Tobago since 1962. And we need to fix that. And the Progressive Empowerment Party is committed to a course of action that will see us rise as a proper first world nation. And there are plenty of things that we cannot share because they're sitting down there with pen and paper right now, copying down, hoping to do what we do and say they do it. Yeah? But I promise you, we've told you enough, we've exposed enough, we've shown enough, we've helped enough, we've fixed enough. The UNC has faded into nothingness. My people, Marissa Prasad, down in Suchitres and Chester Street, have Senanan and Bodilal following her, coming down now to Walker Riverbank that they didn't want. They ignored the farmers. They ignored farmers, begged for help. They placed flooding over and over. PNM don't care. UNC don't care. Progressive Empowerment Party went down there and said, we are coming to dredge it. And the next day we went back with contractors. We went back with contractors who are willing to help. We went back with engineers to find a solution to make sure that the farmers' place no flood so that they can grow kale and drive them $45 a pack importers out of business. And now, all of a sudden, Munilal down on Chester Street. Now, all of a sudden, Cinnamon down on Chester Street. Why? Because the Progressive Empowerment Party fixed it. Mark that. We are leading, others following. Is it possible to have more desalination plants in Trinidad and Tobago? God forbid, no. The desalination plants we have should be shut down. Trinidad gets more rain that falls from the sky for free every year than we could ever use. If we captured all the rain that floods this country and saved them in reservoirs, dams, retention ponds, and other devices, you could leave your tap running, your hose running, your shower running, it doesn't matter. We get more water. The reason the country floods is that more water falls on this country for 8 months out of the year than our country knows what to do with it. We have designed, Trinidad and Tobago has designed a water management system we call rivers that captures the water in the hills and throws it into the sea. And we still don't understand. We're still talking spending $500 million on the desalination plant. We will shut down the Salcott, wake up Hafiz Karama dead ass and beat him with it. That was theft money. This country did not need a desalination plant of any kind. This country needed, but Karen C. Prasad Bechan come on TV and tell me that she could defend it. Bullshit. UNC and PNM and even the Congress of the People, a set of bullshit artists designed, disguised as politicians, disguised as having an interest in the country. Diego Martin River alone, the water that flows from the top of Diego Martin to the mouth of Westmoreland, Diego Martin River alone, if we capture the water that flows through Diego Martin River into the sea every year, the whole of Trinidad will have more water than it needs. And there are 50 rivers like that. They lied to you. They lied to you. Trust me when I tell you that. They lied to you. And every now and then you will see a little PNM troll and a little UNC troll who, God help them, sitting at home on their phone, on their laptop, in their holy drawers, typing in, trying to attack me for speaking the truth, waiting for PNM and UNC to send them phone card so they could talk shit here and on the radio. Ignore them. We are going to let the trolls have a field day because we're going to deal with even them with the truth. And we're going to kill all of the lies and all of the political deceit with pure truth, pure fact. And that's what the PNM and UNC can't take. And that's why they would never. And I talked to Power 102. And I told Paul Richards, who was a senator, I said, call a national debate. You have the media credibility. Call a national debate. Call it in the Savannah, 50,000 people will come. Trinidadians want to see Phillip Alexander on a stage with Gary Griffith, Kamla Prasad, Mrs. and Keith Rowley. And let that debate run until everybody pass out. Last man standing. Let the public ask questions. You see like how I answer questions right now? See how I ask him questions? You could WhatsApp me, you could write it here, and if I see it, I answer it. Just so. Let the public ask the questions. No stunt, no chamber of commerce. The people. Anything that I share on my pages, if you're on my WhatsApp, 682-2110, wow, is to be shared. So I'm seeing people asking me to highlight this stuff, but I can't highlight it until I know what it's about. Right. Reality. Our realities. I would absolutely love a debate. That's what you have to have. Let the trolls talk and ask the trolls. Why not ask for debate? Why not ask Keith Rowley to debate Phillip? Why not ask Kamala to debate Phillip? They say, oh, well, it's not worth their while because they're already in government and opposition. But that's exactly why it's worth their while. Because we are offering a better alternative to them and the public seeing it. CNC3 and TV6 and Newsday and Guardian and Express know that the Progressive Empowerment Party controls, Philip Edward Alexander controls the lion's share of political conversation. The issues that we raise gets to be the top of the issues. We control the narrative. Every now and then, they're going to lock up a Brent Thomas and that's going to be the issue. Every now and then, they're going to thief some silk. Every now and then, they're going to find some coke. But after that, the actual day-to-day operation of Trinidad and Tobago, who have Rudal Modilal and Cinnamon down in Chester Street, the Progressive Empowerment Party, Philip will fix it. We will get it all fixed. We will fix Trinidad and Tobago. You will look back on these people who masqueraded as politicians and ministers and puke on their memory. When you see what Trinidad and Tobago could be, Norway get oil 40 years after us. Norway have a heritage fund that affects every blue chip stock and share trading in the world. $250,000 US set aside for all of their citizens. Singapore Airlines today just give all of their staff all a 4-month bonus because it's just profit after profit. Caribbean Airlines is just thief after thief after thief. What's the difference? Singapore is a third the size of Trinidad and Tobago. What's the difference? The difference is government. The difference is who is in the chair. We have voted for charlatans. We have voted for people who, if it wasn't for race, if it wasn't for racist politics, you couldn't justify your vote. Not one single PNM person could tell you what the PNM does for Trinidad and Tobago to make it first world. They could tell you how they get a handout. They could defend CPEP and URP and HTC and all the other transfers and subsidies that this government put in place to thief 88% of taxpayers' money. All that have to fix. All of it have to fix. And you are entitled to want better. You're entitled to want proper first world education for your children. You're entitled to want better water, better roads, better healthcare. You're entitled to want and demand more from the government. Quality of life is important. We need to make sure that Trinidad and Tobago is run by a government that is beholden to the quality of life. What is your legacy? I don't understand that question. Show all. Who you putting as commissioner, Philip? That's a very good question. And I'll tell you what, there are very good police commissioner options throughout the Commonwealth, throughout the world. Gary Griffith, as commissioner of police, shown better than every one of the charlatans we've had in office before him and since. Gary, as a political police commissioner, had a goal, and he went after all of those easy, low-hanging fruits, and he dealt with them, and he got his numbers up, and he'd be a good commissioner he wants to be. And I'd work with him, but I'm not buying into the nonsense that he's the only commissioner we can have. There are options. There are people outside of Trinidad and Tobago who would do a better job than anything we've ever had here. Gibbs and Iwansky was working, and there are better people than them. And we've spent so much money. We spend $9 billion a year on national security. You can imagine if we hired proper people. We have 7,000 people in the army doing nothing but training every day in case Antigua and Barbados invade. Because there's no other purpose for the army. When the British had Trinidad as a colony, they had a regiment in Trinidad, like they had a regiment in every one of the other colonies. But do you know what the regiment was for? Do you know what the regiment was trained for in Trinidad? To suppress uprising of the people of Trinidad and Tobago against colonial rule. That's what the regiment was for. That's the legacy. We need to repurpose what is our army now to national security, and we need to decide. If we merge the army and the police service, find a way to get soldiers properly trained as police officers. Do we need 15,000 police? What is going on in Trinidad and Tobago? Imagine if we stop the flow of guns and drugs by unstuffing all the containers on the port. Imagine if we get a Coast Guard that actually guards the coast and not park up in Chagaramas all day. Then all of a sudden, all the drugs and all the guns and all the contraband will stop. Imagine a government that creates jobs for all of the people, hope and opportunity, the ability to own a home, raise your family. Imagine all those people now that are just grist for the criminal mill, just human resource for criminality. Imagine them being given a chance at life, because a lot of people who end up in crime in Trinidad and Tobago didn't start off wanting to be in crime, but didn't have no options. They didn't have none. They didn't have a family that would fight for them. They didn't have, if their family wanted to fight for them, they had nobody to fight. The PNM was selling them lies. The UNC was selling dreams. That's who's selling lies and dreams. Because they had office. And when you look back at how much of our people are underdeveloped in Trinidad and Tobago, you know that it is the government that failed. Look at Dubai, look at Singapore, look at Finland, look at Japan, look at Guyana, look at Norway. Look at countries that work and ask yourself why, if we've had independence and we've had control of a country that earned $3 trillion, what do we have to show for it? Everything of value that we have, the Queen built. Everything. Everything. The rest, the thief. Mount Hope, waste of time. That's the worst hospital in the Caribbean. General Hospital, Jeffrey McLean of Citizens for Conservation wrote an article. He wrote an actual book, this fact, about why that is a non-functional, and it's a risk to people in a real, if we ever get a real national crisis, that hospital can't function. They transform our office building in San Fernando into a hospital because the actual San Fernando hospital is disease sharing. It is the worst hospital. And that's what we've had. And we've had PNM and UNC play games. They don't have a proper plan between them. They don't. Our public health care is an assault on our decency. It is an affront to our democracy. Once elected, what would be the first change you would make as Prime Minister for our country? There are 21 policies on www.21policies.com, all at the same time. That's why you have a cabinet. The Prime Minister is the minister of everything. That's why Kamala was able to create 50 ministries. Because you can do whatever you want. And that's unfortunately the reality of our country. We want those 21 policies started at the same time because all of them work together. If you visit, it's very short, it's written to be easy to understand, www.21policies.com. Go to that and check out those policies, because our flooding policy works with our water policy, because it is water that flooding that we're going to capture, hold, treat, and distribute. We will solve the madness of the traffic from south to town and east to town every morning by repurposing. We're going to remove all of those government offices that are in Port of Spain that should have never been in Port of Spain, and build a purpose-built city for those that need to still exist as brick and mortar in the geographic center of the island. Let Port of Spain redevelop itself. We're going to create opportunities for other people to come and develop alongside that city and build proper transportation plans, grid networks, make it, they use traffic as a reason to try and sell you a rapid rail. A rapid rail for what? To continue the madness of sending 250,000 people to town every morning. Why? Why? When everybody can be working within 15 minutes of their homes. We need to fix all of that. So to the person who asked, one of the first things, water, flooding, those things have to start immediately. Education, we want to build 200 purpose-built schools so all children will have access to prestige education, and children will have counseling and guidance and protection. Parents would grow with their children's educators for the 10 years, because our schools will be 10-year schools. Those things need to fix. You can't have 10 schools in Trinidad offering prestige education to the children of those who are beneficially connected and know which hand to scratch. Let's make sure that all of our 20,000 children every year who enter the education system have the same chance at life. Yeah? Let's make sure public health gives everybody better than what they get in West Shore and St. Clair tonight. Let's do that. Let's set those as our lofty goals and aim to hit them. Let's take our $60 billion budget every year and cut it in half. $30 billion. The $30 billion that is stolen every year in pork projects, in theft, in corruption. Let's take that money and use it to develop all of our people from the bottom up. The government should be monitoring the performance of the economy by how well the poor is doing, not by how well the rich are doing. That is bullshit. Keith Rowley is a con artist. He is the entirety of a bullshit show all by himself. Yeah? I'm reading. Let me check the WhatsApp. There are no comments there right now. But you all have a job to do too, you know. Your job is to tell people it is time for us to want a better country. It is time for us to want a Trinidad and Tobago that works for all of us. It's time for us to get to a place where every creed and race could find a proper, equal place in Trinidad and Tobago. That's our dream. That's our goal. Visit 21policies.com. Go and listen to all of the thousands of hours of videos that I've done. They're yours. They belong to you. The better country that we want is on the other side of your vote. If you want a better country, help us fix it. Yeah? That's the truth. That's your job. Your job is to join. Visit peptt.com, where